Hello everybody and welcome to the Friday wrap for today, May 30th, 2014, and it is going to be another late night vlogging Friday wrap session for myself. It's actually 4 o'clock in the morning on Friday, so I'm doing this with plenty of time to spare. I just got home from Dungeons & Dragons, the first D&D session in about 3 weeks due to a lot of personal stuff, and I felt like banging out this video, as well as a couple other videos. A few things I definitely want to talk about regarding the channel, so we'll start with that, and then we'll go off to a topic that I want to talk a little bit about, but I'm going to take off these headphones. I sound so different with the headphones off. I also apologize. My hair is a mess. I've been wearing a hat all day long. Deal with it. Putting this down, of course. So yeah, a couple things I want to address about the channel this week. First and foremost, I want to talk about a couple of series. So, I've been getting asked a lot, Mathis, are you done playing Don't Starve? Are you done playing Project Zomboid? Where's this? Where's that? Where's this? To be honest with you, I'm not done. Quite simply, the answer is no. Of course, I'm not done with Project Zomboid and Don't Starve. But the more complicated, long answer is that they're kind of on hold or break, or they're just not going to be around as often. There's a number of reasons for that. One, I have a lot of series going on right now. And two, the series the new stuff that I'm doing, like Tropico, Kerbal Space Program, Neo Scavenger, like I'm having such a good time with them, Prison Architect too, that I'd rather be playing them than the things that I feel like I've been playing and played to death. I understand there's an audience for that stuff, and that's why it's not going away. But when I sit here and I go, okay, I got to do at least 5 videos for tomorrow with the Friday wrap. That's going to be 6. I might have room for 1 more. What am I going to do? I'm going to err towards the stuff that's relatively new because I'm having more fun playing that. And when I'm having more fun, my commentary tends to be a little bit better, as it is with any Let's Player. So that's the reason I've kind of put Don't Starve and Project Zomboid off to the side for now. And when I say for now, you're still going to see episodes here and there throughout the week. You're just not going to see them every single day for a little while. It also kind of bothers me that, you know, Project Zomboid, I feel like I've played into the ground, obviously, for a lot of reasons. But there was supposed to be a multiplayer thing with Project Zomboid that never happened. But with Build 27 coming around, and there's going to be like a potential server list, that multiplayer thing might actually just happen anyway, and I'm going to do it differently than how I'm supposed to do it. All the people that we were supposed to get together and do this multiplayer thing with never ended up coming true. It never came to fruition. I don't know what happened. I wasn't in charge of it. I was invited to it, and there was just like a lack of planning and a lack of coordination that just saw it fall apart, and it never happened, which kind of frustrates me because I thought that could have been cool. But that just means that when the server list and all that stuff kind of comes and I have access to it, I can take control over it, and I can do the multiplayer thing the way I want to do. And that's what I'm going to end up doing with Project Zomboid. Don't Starve will, of course, see it smattering here and there. It's just, I'm just having more fun playing stuff like Neo Scavenger and Always Sometimes Monsters and all the other stuff that I've already said. I have so much stuff going on the channel right now, it's almost overbearing for you as the viewer. So I'm trying to rotate things in and out, like as you've been seeing and as I talked about last week. If you're missing out on particularly one of your favorite series, I apologize. I do my best to cater to all the audiences. I feel like if you enjoy Project Zomboid, you enjoy Neo Scavenger, like that survival niche is there. If you enjoy story-like games, Always Sometimes Monsters in there. If you enjoy other things like Kerbal Space Program, that's like a very particular niche itself. City builders, you know, you got Tropico 5. There's a lot of stuff there. Which also brings me to another point. I have actually been not reading the comments as often. And the reason for that is multiple. There's many layers to that. Outside of, you know, the very few very angry commenters that are in every video that I try to ignore. A lot of what I play, I'm relatively new to, or I'm playing blind. For instance, Kerbal Space Program. And for me, although there is obviously going to be a degree of frustration on my end, and I'm sure on your end, especially if you're very new, or you're rather not new, you're very familiar with Kerbal Space Program. For me, the fun in Kerbal Space Program comes from learning. It comes from figuring things out and toying with things and learning things. And honestly, this is probably the most Kerbal Space Program I've ever played. And that's only 11 20-minute episodes. And a lot of the people, I'm just going to say a lot of the people, because for every loud person in the comment section, there's about 300 people who are watching it and not saying anything. But for the people in the comment section that are screaming that I'm bad at it, yeah, I'm bad at it. I barely played the game. I have 11 or 12 episodes in. I don't expect to be a pro. And I have fun learning it. And if you can't handle me learning it, then don't watch the series. And that goes with any series that I'm bad at, which is, you know, all of them, I guess. If you're not having fun watching it, do yourselves a favor. Don't watch it, man. Do yourselves a favor and don't watch it. I am here to entertain you, and if you are not being entertained by a episode of any series, turn it off. Go watch something else of mine, or something of somebody else's. You're wasting your time, and your comments are no longer being read. They've gotten so hostile in certain series, particularly in stuff like a Kerbal Space Program and Tropico, that I don't bother going into the comment section anymore for my own sanity. And talking to other YouTubers who are much bigger than me, there's, people. One of the big things that I strive to do is remain close to you and connect to you guys as viewers, which is why I do these Friday Wrap things. But one of the things that bigger YouTubers start to do is they start to step away from the comment section. And a lot of people ask, why do bigger YouTubers do that? Look at the comment section. You'll know why. It's the bigger I grow and the faster I go, the more people that are going to be loud and sounding off and telling me I'm dumb or stupid or bad or whatever. I don't want to read that every day. No one wants to read that every day. Every single day I have comments on 5 or 6 videos telling me how bad I am. Whether they be from a viewer that has been here from day one or a viewer that came in for one day. No one wants to read endless comments of how bad they are at games. So for my own sanity and for my own well-being, I have stepped away from the comment section. So if you've noticed that I'm just not reading your comments as often anymore, it's because they're harsh. And they're not harsh in constructive criticism ways. And those who do leave constructive criticism typically start by saying something insulting or something that's just completely mean. And I'm not going to, no one should have to put themselves through that. It's a video game, and I'm here to entertain you. And if you're not being entertained, go watch something else, another episode or series of something that I'm doing, or like I said, go watch somebody else. There's plenty on YouTube to watch. And that's why I provide such a variety of content too, because there are certain things that I'm really good at, and there are certain games that I'm not really good at. Survival games tend to be something I'm really good at. Games that involve a lot of math and thinking take a little bit more time before I get good at them. But that's just, I'm not gonna ramble on it anymore. I'm gonna leave it alone. Just know that I've stepped away from the comments from those videos, not in the Friday Wrap stuff and stuff where I interact, but for those types of videos, Kerbal Space Program, Tropico 5, I have stepped away. And if I need to learn something about Kerbal Space Program, if I feel like I absolutely I'm stuck or need to learn something, I will go seek out that knowledge on a wiki or something else. But for now, I got to the moon, man. I didn't do it the perfect way. I didn't get a perfect circular orbit. I don't know how to do a perfect circular orbit yet, but I get into orbit regularly, and I am at the moon on my second try. Progress. And that's all I care about. It's fun. Blah, whatever. Other than that, what else is going on? D&D, I'll give you the quick D&D wrap. It's been 3 weeks since we've played, so you always have that kind of getting back into it session after a long break. We had a lot of personal life stuff going on. I had a wedding, and one of our players went to Minnesota for a week, so there's a lot of stuff that prevented us from playing for 3 weeks. But we got back together, and it's interesting because we're all still outlaws. Story-wise, not much happened. My character, I think this is actually the first full session where I was able to stretch my character's personality. It was the very first session where he is no longer pushed and pushed his personality into himself. He's allowed to be himself, and he's very kind of childlike, mainly because he's only, due to amnesia, has only really had a year and a half's worth of life experience. On top of that, he's chaotic neutral, and since he's a wild mage, he can't really predict what's going to happen. And now that he's finally embracing what he is and embracing what he can do, he's kind of embracing the chaos that swirls around him, and is slowly starting to push and prod the other PCs to kind of do that. Because we're all outlaws, we're all kind of free in a way where we don't really respond, or we're not tied down to anything. But the 3 other PCs that are in the party still kind of feel that they're tied down. We have somebody who's tied down to the School of Arcanics. We have somebody who's a member of the Silver Flame, who technically isn't an outlaw because she's a paladin. And then somebody who's a Kalishtar and has his own problems. And it's funny to watch the 3 of them kind of feel like they to feel like they are tied down to their prior obligations, while those prior obligations are no longer truly obligations to them because they're now outlaws of the country. So my character is slowly trying to push them and make them realize that they are no longer tied down because they are outlaws, and now we have to look out for ourselves for a little while, and to have them, basically what my character is trying to do is just trying to push them over the edge and have them just like accept the fact that they're outlaws, because in a lot of ways they're still looking for answers to try and not be an outlaw because they're mostly good characters. And I'm a good character too, or at least I'm a friendly character. I'm not evil, put it that way. I'm neutral. But he wants them to kind of accept the reality of now, and they're not. And he's having a really good time with that. It's definitely made for a very interesting party dynamic, one that I am enjoying watching unfold, and it's quite enjoyable. Holy crap, we've been going on for 10 minutes, so I'm actually going to wrap this up. My week has been relatively normal otherwise. I'm excited to be playing D&D again. The topic I wanted to talk about, I'm going to save for another vlog, but I think I'm going to leave the topic for this is comments. If you are a YouTuber, I know there are a couple of YouTubers who watch this, and if I'm actually, you know what, let's leave it on a much broader question. Is there something that, without a shadow of a doubt, always gets you down? And you feel, and people tell you it shouldn't get you down, but it does get you down. And if what is that, and how do you deal with it? For me, like I said, comments. People always say don't let comments get to you, but as a YouTuber, it's impossible. It's just impossible. So I just step away from them. What bothers you, and people tell you it shouldn't bother you, and how do you deal with it? Let me know in the comments section below. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you all next Friday. Bye-bye.